episode, I'm still kind of like, why? It's like, I don't hate it. It's not like ruining anything for me, but I'm still just like,
the answer to why is they figured enough people would pay for it.
Yeah. And like,
well, it's also a good like bellwether, right? If I'm sure they have 100 million fucking spec scripts laying around for any anime adaptation.
Exactly. They're like, okay, because we'll do Avatar, we'll do fucking all of it.
Yeah.
We can get
they are doing Avatar. That's already in the works.
Well, and that one might actually be better than Cowboy Bebop.
Maybe. Also not an anime.
Like it's easier to do.
Yeah. Also.
We do not.
Hairs are being split, boys.
we will grant, or the council recognizes Avatar: The Last Airbender as a good show. We do not grant it the title of anime.
What do you do about French cartoons that look like anime?
Would you believe they're not anime?
Oh, I know.
My definition is. It has
Is it
to
recorded
be,
in Japanese?
It has to be anime. Yeah. Or, well, I guess that would be tautological. It has to be animated.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah.
At least mostly. There's a fucking gonzo-ass show about this, like, crazy doctor guy that has this, like, live-action nurse sequence, like, in the middle of every episode as some patient is, like, going to crazy town.
I mean, I like live-action nurses.
But made for a Japanese audience by a Japanese creator.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, these terms are acceptable.
Yeah. I mean,
Hence the name.
Also, a lot of anime is shit anyway, and I don't get why the, like, Avatar crowd... It's not just this exact moment. I've done the council will grant them that they're good, but we do not grant the title of anime. And people are like, I'm like, why do you give a shit? Like,
well, dude, straight up,
calling it anime doesn't make it
I
better
just
or worse.
realized, like, if there were no Asians in that cartoon, I don't think anyone would ever be like, oh, this is anime.
Like, they have big eyes, and sometimes they do like an arm kind of wavy thing.
And there's like kick fighting.
There's kick fight. They do like the sweat drop, I think is the thing that happens, which is also very anime. But like,
you're right.
It's not a symptoms thing. Like, you have to be anime in order to be anime.
Yep.
God, like
Math checks out.
I mean, the other part of that is like, if we where do we draw the line? And I don't mean like, is The Simpsons an anime? Because of course it is. But the second that we give special status, we say that Avatar can be an honorary anime, all of a sudden I have everyone who's watched Ruby like knocking at my fucking door.
Is Ruby not an anime?
Ruby is not an anime.
I don't even know what Ruby is.
I know very little about it.
Not an anime.
I know it's a hot topic thing.
I mean, it comes and goes. I watched a 3-hour critique of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, not just like a general hot topic. Boy, have I got a hot topic for you.
Right. Fresh off the press. It's Machinima by your friends at Rooster Teeth.
God, I'll never forget when fucking Hot Topic bought Think Geek.
Oh, yeah. And then Think Geek's gone now.
Yeah, I just ran it right into the ground.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what Hot Topic has done with everything inside of a Hot Topic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Taken many things I loved and turned them into garbage.
Well, it's an axiom that me and my friends used to repeat a lot back in the day. Anything that's cool eventually becomes corrupted and dies.
At the Hot Topic.
Yeah.
And I think if we had been a little more savvy, we would have said everything cool eventually becomes co-opted by capitalism and dies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's 100% true. Although some things, like, find a weird life. Like, Invader Zim really had kind of no business being as popular as it was. And then it just found this life in Hot Topic.
It's
beyond
true.
2.5 seasons on Nickelodeon.
It's true, but I mean, you gotta like respect fucking Jonan's fucking like mad goth game. Like,
yeah, well, and his pre-Zim work all fits into that, so that's probably like why that ended up the way it did. But yeah,
exactly. Like if anybody was gonna like find a second life in Hot Topic, it was that man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd accept it. Maybe we can find a second life in Hot Topic.
Heyo! Hot Topic, we are accepting sponsorships.
Yep.
Is this thing on?
Yeah. Right. Have you gotten into the podcast game in Hot Topic? 'Cause, boy, have I got something the teenagers won't love.
Dude, you're wrong, though. Like, one of the women that I worked with back in the theater, she was a bartender, and, like, her 13-year-old caught her listening to our fucking podcast and then shared it with all of her friends.
Whoa.
And so there is a very small pocket of teenagers who are listening to our podcast.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, if it feels like contraband and we swear and talk about drugs, so, like,
yeah.
You know, yeah.
I mean, I would have loved this shit when I was 16. Like, fuck.
Well, yeah, but that's because, like, we didn't have the world at our fingertips, right?
Fair.
Like, there's probably other far hipper dudes talking about doing drugs and swearing on YouTube.
Sure, but I feel like maybe for some teenagers that's part of our charm, is that we're kind of just like backwards and fucked, and you know, they're like, listen to these idiots, right?
Yeah. Maybe that's the secret backdoor into teen culture, because like nothing will fail more than if you're like, the teens will love this,
right?
Right. Anything marketed as being hip towards the teens, they get a whiff of it and they're like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a Shrek meme now.
Well,
right.
I feel like we might even have an angle on, like, some older demographics, because someone mentioned to me the other day that we kind of sound like Click and Clack occasionally, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see how we could have some of that chemistry once in a while.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
But, yeah, I don't know. Like, it never fails to surprise me, the fucking strange pockets that we find, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I checked some of the stats recently, and I mean, I know where a lot of our Euro listens come from, but man, we've got some listens in some places that I am very surprised by.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Even just, like a small cache of Japan listens and stuff. Like,
love it.
That's no one I know.
I mean, I do know one person who's living in Japan.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Shout out to Todd.
Right on. Hell yeah. All right. Well, are we ready to start this thing?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
Like, which one do I want to use? Apparently none of them.
Insert or let's do it.
Yeah.
We're just trying to appeal to the kids and then just like cold feet it and was like, I don't know, dude. What did they say? Let's take this talk.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's find this thing. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Coming Down. My name is Nathan. I am here with Matthew.
Hey, everybody.
And also here with Jesse.
It's true.
Yeah, so this is super tight to do this because you were the last guest we had before, locking down. I gotta catch myself of saying, like, before the pandemic, because motherfucker, we're still in it. And, probably for a little while.
Might be forever in it. We might just be like, oh, and here comes COVID-23.
Yeah, perpetual pandemic is just, like, living in the modern world. So, that wouldn't be that surprising. But this is super cool, because it's been, a couple years since we've had a guest on, and so we're just bringing back our last guest.
Fucking hey. Well, it was such a nice fucking bookend, too. Like, I really loved that episode.
It was a great one to leave on, where just like if you find us out in the wild, like while we're not putting out stuff, like then and you listen to the most recent one, it's gonna be that one, and it was a great one. So.
Exactly.
No.
Well, maybe my reappearance on here could be interpreted by future generations as a sign that the world was healing.
Yes,
you
right.
know?
And that was the sign.
They didn't know it at the time.
Dolphins came back into the harbor.
Yeah.
Jesse reappeared on the podcast.
Right.
A white buffalo was born in Montana.
They hit the record button and one of the seals slipped off of the scroll.
Hell yeah. So I'll just get this housekeeping. I'll get this housekeeping stuff out of the way. So we're back to fully functioning with the Patreon. That's up and going. Everyone who was on there should have already gotten a message from me and seen the post. So that's up and running again. So if you'd like to donate to us, any amount, even $1 a month, it helps us pay for the hosting. A couple of people have already boosted their contribution, and really want to shout you out. God, just really appreciate that. that, and you know, and some people had to leave, and I totally understand that too. Like,
oh yeah,
fucking money's tight and shit.
Absolutely.
So, but we do have some merch to hook you up with, shirts and stickers and coasters and buttons and stuff. So if you would like to join that, patreon.com/comingdownpod. If you want to hit us up at all on Twitter at comingdownpod, or email us at comingdownpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you, and yeah, just feel free to hit us up. Now this story, so we were on a chat thread recently, and you were telling this story, and the chat thread lit up. This was wild. So we were like, maybe come tell the whole thing.
It's a good story. As most good stories go, it takes place in Las Vegas.
Yep, great start.
Yes,
but you know, temper your expectations, because I was there for a wedding, which I guess is the plot of The Hangover.
If this isn't Hangover caliber, then
right.
I don't know.
Is this foreshadowing?
My God, there were bad decisions that all happened in a row. But in order for me to talk about funny story that I was asked to retell, first we have to talk about game theory.
Oh yes.
Well, and also I feel like we should mention that like you've spoken with a lawyer, and you're technically excluded from what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Exactly.
You have a caveat. You're under the witness protection program. Like,
You've been
this is
allowed
legit.
to take it out of Vegas.
We have doctored all of the paperwork to where now all of the relevant documents say, like, Las Vegas, Montana. So if anyone tries to check the paper trail, it's a different Vegas, baby.
Excellent. We're coming.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Yep. Also, people don't know that we're not in Vegas. We could be in Vegas right now.
I guess that's true.
So this is our podcast from Las Vegas. Yep. Technically, we are allowed to tell this story because we are in Vegas.
That's right.
They say Vegas is really a state of mind.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, it's you cross the state line from confusion and you're in Vegas.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
The rapper ZJ, he wrote that one, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Man, how much trouble would you get in if you like became a rapper and called yourself ZJ?
All of it. All of the trouble.
Yeah, just do Las Vegas state of mind.
God.
Oh,
What's
man.
a ZJ? Honey, if you don't know, you can't afford it.
That's a very Las Vegas state of mind thing to say. No, so game theory. So this is ultimately going to be a story about gambling. And I don't really like gambling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because gambling in its purest form is not really a game. Or rather, it's not the type of game that I enjoy, which is classified as a finite game.
Sure.
A finite game is a game with a set number of players, a set objective, and rules that sort of guides you towards that objective. So, like basketball.
Right.
I'm not good at it. I might not enjoy it, but it is a finite game,
But
right?
I'll be
There-
goddamned if I don't respect it.
Right, yeah. Most of the time there's two teams that show up. They do some stuff with the ball, points happen, and at the end of the game, there's usually a winner.
Usually, it's true.
Usually a winner. I've been watching some weird sports shit over quarantine, and I know that like once in like a blue moon, it's possible to have a tie in football.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That happens.
And like, man, one time it was the Steelers and the Bills, and they tied. And I lost my fucking mind. Like,
Wait, so it was like they did like 3 or 4 overtimes or however many they let you do it, and then they were just like, we're calling it. Like,
they just, everyone decided to stop doing the football.
We've had enough. We're leaving.
yep.
And like, the Bills were a horrible team. They might still be a horrible team. I basically blacked out at football when this happened because it was so insane that like the Steelers managed to like they didn't beat the Bills, but they did that without losing to them. And the
Are they
Bills
a rival team?
no, The Bills have no rivals.
They're their own rivals.
They're their own rivals, yeah. They show up on the field and they just start cursing. They ended some ungodly losing streak with a tie.
We did it.
To all you Bills fans out there, God bless you. He's probably cursing you, but I hope he changes his mind someday.
My favorite thing about drawing in any game, especially if you can draw repeatedly, is that you're technically undefeated.
Yeah.
That's the best.
They didn't kill me. What do you want? I'm still here.
I'm immortal.
Yeah.
I can't win, but I will never die.
But we're going to contrast that with the Infinite game.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
An Infinite game is a game that does not have a set number of players. Players enter and exit the game. There is no clearly defined endpoint. And really the only way that players leave the game is by not having the resources or the will to continue.
Right. Okay.
So the classic example of this is business.
Oh, I thought you were going to say World of Warcraft.
There's also that.
Oh, yeah.
Business, World of Warcraft. There's a lot of overlap there.
Wait, just like business as a concept or like a game called business?
Nope.
Business is an infinite game.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, I get that.
There's no real way to win business.
Not really.
Amazon is trying.
Yeah. Yeah, there are people who are trying.
In order to do that, they're going to have to construct sub-rules that prohibit players from entering the game, and etc. But joke's on them, eventually the sun is going to explode, and they will have no choice to leave the game.
Turns out heat death catches us all in the
end.
Dude, if you don't think you're buying tracking mushroom bowls or fungus bowls in your bunker from Amazon, like, you are fooling yourself.
But gambling is also kind of an infinite game. Sure. You show up at the casino, you have some amount of money, and you tell yourself, that's all I'm gonna spend. And that's probably not true.
Yeah.
And then you just keep doing the gambling until you literally can't because you don't have money, or you lose the will to continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that makes sense. Because I was, so a single round of roulette is finite, though. You walk up, I play the one round, I win it or I lose it, I walk away, then it's finite, right?
You left the infinite game.
I left the infinite game. No, but I get it, because the roulette wheel keeps spinning for others. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It keeps spinning for others, and we could spend the whole podcast talking about what does it mean to win and what is a game.
This is why I love playing EDH, is because that's the central conversation.
Right.
What is fun?
Right.
How is a game?
For the non-Magic players, that's a version of Magic.
Yeah. Wow.
Tends to be the most casual and also the most hate-filled. So
it also, for my money, has the best name because you have standard or limited. Legacy is kind of close.
Yeah.
But this is Elder Dragon Highlander.
Yeah.
Other than Elder, those are all pretty cool words.
Yeah, that name fucking slaps, for sure.
Shout out to old people.
Well, shout out to old dragons.
Yeah, damn straight.
Do not shout out to old dragons. What if they respond?
Your math checks out.
Yeah. But yeah, so gambling is an infinite game, and I've never really had the chunk of change to just throw at gambling to see how it feels. I enjoy playing poker. A robust hand of poker amongst like-minded individuals.
Well, and you could say poker's a finite game, right?
Yeah, I mean, those have nights and then they end.
Right.
So I would say, poker is more towards the finite end. But there's a bit of conflation between the idea of playing a game with stakes, where you're betting on it, and gambling. And those are similar, but they're not the same things. Because generally speaking, in all of the really cool, good games that are fun and good to put your money on, being good at the game allows you to win more. And I don't know enough about roulette, but I would hazard a guess as to say that you can definitely be worse at it. The first time I was in Vegas, I put 25 down on 00 because what if?
That's being bad at the game.
Yeah, it cost me $25 immediately.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah.
But yeah,
No, I don't know. Was watching the ball spin around worth $25?
it took so long. It's a long time to know you're about to lose $25.
Yeah.
I know a person whose catchphrase is "bet it all on black." So
Yeah.
fucking roulette.
And I mean, for some people that's great and cool, and I don't want to yuck your yum, but yeah, we did just talk about Magic the Gathering. You know, so, dear listeners, I'm a bit of a nerd. I do enjoy the games. I like the way that I can feel clever while playing a game and making an informed decision.
See, and I want to mix both. I want to put $1,000 on my next Risk game.
Oh man. If there was like a fucking cutthroat underground Risk world, like, dude, you'd be the guy with the eye patch at the back of the smoky room.
Yeah, man.
Do you want to hear my...
Or I'd be the Malkovich twisting Oreos with a bad fucking with a bad fucking Russian accent.
Also that.
Do you want to hear my salt-filled hot take on Risk?
Sure.
If you take second place at Risk, you were never a threat to anyone even once.
Holy shit.
That's probably true. Yeah.
It seems true. As someone who's often eliminated first or second and then sits around and watches the game, I'm like, well, fucking course he got to take second place. He's fucking off over here.
You just hold up in Australia the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
He's got 6 resources. Who's gonna fucking kill him?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you wait.
A little heated.
You wait to kill them when they have cards, so you get their cards.
Exactly, yeah. You're basically just an organ donor for the rich.
Yeah.
Much like the people that Nate will kill at Risk in the $1,000 games. They get in too deep with the loan shark.
I can't talk about it too much on this forum, but Underground Risk League is coming to a city near you.
Oh, it's down and dirty, let me tell you.
God, I'd love to see that.
I wonder if we can think of 2 rules off the top of our head for Underground Risk Club.
Well, you don't talk about it.
That's good, that's good.
What would the second one possibly be?
But so how did I, a self-styled clever boy, wind up doing the gambling in Vegas if it's not really my thing?
Yeah.
Well, as previously mentioned, my boy Josh got married. Shout out to Josh and Ashley. They just had their second kid. Probably don't remember his name. Feel bad about that.
Hey, maybe they didn't name him yet, you know?
Oh, wait, no, I do remember. Because his name is Alton. Because Josh maybe named him after Alton Brown.
Whoa.
Which is amazing.
Nice.
Which that's great. Anyway, so he was living out in Vegas, and I got a wedding invitation, and I love him. So I decided I would go out to Vegas. And
like, also, let's be fair. Like, if you're gonna go to Vegas, even if you're not into gambling, like, you're in Vegas, man.
Absolutely.
You're gonna drop $20 into a slot machine at the very least, if not more or whatever.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that he lived in Vegas, because at first I was like, God, was this a destination wedding?
Oh, no.
Like,
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Yeah.
no, so the first time I went to Vegas, yeah, that's when I lost $25 on roulette. Not because I expected to win on double green, but because I was like, I'm 21. What does it feel like to lose $25 as much as I make during a single shift of work?
Right. Yeah.
On one spin of a wheel while I'm on vacation.
That's your high rolling.
Yeah.
You're like, woo! Man, can barely afford this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was too rich for my blood.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told it on this pod before, but the one time I've really properly gambled in Vegas, I mean, we were just putting dimes in the dime poker to get free drinks all night. I think between us we spent
that's the strat.
$30, you know?
Like that's the only reason that most people gamble in Vegas is to just get free drinks, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they
And
don't do
smoke
that anymore,
indoors.
by the way. Like,
And smoke indoors. Yeah.
Like, nobody fucking offers free drinks to gamblers anymore. Like, that just doesn't happen.
No, not even in Blackhawk in Colorado. When I went up there, I was hoping for some free drinks, and they were like, "Nah, how about $5 for this PBR and gamble?"
Which
Exactly.
is like wild because that has to be the most effective strategy for just wringing money out of people I've ever heard.
Well, no
Get
kidding.
them drunk.
Yeah,
Get them
like,
drunk and let them gamble. Exactly. Like,
what are they gonna do? Like lose less? No,
Right.
you're paying $5, you're getting $50 back. It's anyway.
Yep.
No, I mean, like, and furthermore, we're not suggesting that, like, you know, anyone should go out and try this, but I will say that it was a successful formula for decades. So
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Listen, if you're trying to run your own casino, or perhaps an underground risk league for high stakes, offer your players free alcohol, but not the one that's playing for you.
Right. Definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
You want everyone else drunk.
I
but
mean,
the
I
house
don't really
player wants
care
sober.
because Toby Maguire is going to come and play for my Underground Risk League. And that's how I'm going to get the other players in. You see, it'll start with Toby Maguire, and then the Girls Gone Wild guy will end up there, and then
well, we've got some phone calls to make, but I think we can make this happen.
you know, they'll make a movie about me called Nathan's Game, and Mike
There
and
we go.
Sarah will
Well,
play Toby Maguire again.
You'll heard it here first. This is our last podcast before this Underground Risk League venture.
Yep, podcast hasn't worked out. Underground Risk League. Does anyone have Toby Maguire's number? If you do, just hit me that. And then sayonara.
I can't believe this happened twice. Like they say God is the Alpha and the Omega, but I got to be the Omega and the Omega. I ended coming down twice. From my perspective, in a row. But yeah, so my boy Josh getting married. Our boy Austin, also shout out to him. We love him.
Yes, friend of the show.
Indeed.
He flies out there too, and he has brought the conversion of a jar of change.
Yes.
Oh,
So he did not bring a literal jar of change to
but he
Vegas
converted them into paper credits.
at the Banque, and he took those paper credits to Vegas, and he had a dream. Dreams can often translate into goals. Goals become rules for games, which will make them finite instead of infinite.
Sure.
Okay, yes. I smell what you're stepping in.
So Austin's goal going into the casinos, because we knew we were going to have like one night that we could do this.
Yeah.
He had, I want to say, somewhere north of like $150.
Respectable, sure.
And his idea was we were going to go into the casino and we were going to leave with enough money to buy a Nintendo Switch or none of that money.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, like, at least one of those options is definitely attainable.
Exactly. Which makes it a good game,
Yeah.
right? You know that you have these two different endpoints.
Yeah.
Hell
and
yeah.
and by setting it up, like, for us, I share in Austin's enthusiasm for this. I assume he felt, the way that I'm about to say that I felt. It wasn't about, can we get a Nintendo Switch?
Sure.
Because you just wait a little bit for that.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, eventually he did buy a Nintendo Switch.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, if he's already got 150, he's halfway there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The challenge of this was, can we turn this limited set of 150 and no one's interested in adding any extra money to this pot? Are we good enough savvy gamblermen who do the gaming? Are we capable of translating that into a Nintendo Switch? That is a skill testing event.
Yeah, well, but I love that the bar isn't set incredibly high. Like it's
all you got to do is double
your money.
Mm-hmm.
You could put that jar of change.
Yeah,
you could put that jar of change on black. You hit black, and you're like, "Let's go home. Let's buy a Switch and a pack of smokes."
Yeah,
or let's go home.
Yeah, or let's go home.
Yeah.
This hangover plot could be over.
That definitely would have been the most efficient way to do it.
Yeah. Not the most fun, obviously.
Yeah.
No, and it's really about the friends that we made along the way.
Right, yeah.
And we all wanted to have our time in the casino being like, no, I think what I'll do is this. Aha, I've been rewarded for my cleverness. Please let me do this several thousand more times.
So what did you deduce then? Because the house is at odds against you. You can't be clever against people who are set up to take your money.
Well, right, like, and I'm assuming that, like, you guys crunched the numbers and, like, came up with a plan that wasn't just like, I'm going to throw $5 at the wall and see what sticks.
So what we did...
Yeah, slots had to be out, right?
Exactly. So what we did was we walked into the casino, and then there were the digital poker machines, and I pointed at those and I said, "Hey, do you guys know how to play poker?" And they said no. And I figured this was a good, safe place to start. So we did not have a meticulously thought out plan. We did not craft this. We just kind of, Austin vaguely had the idea, what if I can turn this into a Switch?
Yeah.
And then we got on a plane. There was a wedding. We went so deep into the desert for this wedding, I'm pretty sure I was near, like, dead mafiosos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Found Jimmy Hoffa's body while you're out there.
Right. Fucking Walter White's meth lab, what have you.
It was beautiful. I did not see any dead bodies.
Right. You just knew.
Just in my heart. I was like, there's no way. This is where they drive you out. This is the desert they drive you out into.
Is this a mafia burial ground?
Right.
A mafia burial ground. This is built on an old mafia burial ground.
Yeah, no, beautiful ceremony. And then some amount of time later, we're at the casino. So there's like 5 of us. There's me, Austin, our boy Jared. Was Josh there? Maybe he was getting married.
Might have been busy getting married.
Right. And then also my dear friend David, who also shout out to him.
Also mentioned on your previous episode?
Yes.
Yes.
He was the one who jumped over the side of the boat.
Right. Good guy.
Fucking ninja, that guy. He's fucking doing like pyrotechnics for Disney now.
Wild.
This guy's crazy. Yeah. We love him a lot. But so we sit down at the machines and I explain to them what our strategy for this is going to be. Which is we're going to play low stakes and you're going to, like, every time that you get a hand, do not make the mistake of, like, going for the royal flush instead of the 3 of a kind.
Right.
Yeah.
Because really what you want to do, this is not professional gambling advice. I am not a professional gambler.
This is not professional financial advice.
Yes. But the thesis that I presented to them was you are not trying to win every hand. You are trying to stay afloat until the computer decides to give you a really good hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you win the shit out of that hand, and bang, you're up like $10.
Yeah, video poker is literally slots with an opportunity to misplay.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Like, is exactly what it is.
But I was like, we're each going to start with like 20. Let's see if we can double, and then we'll kind of come back if either you've doubled and cashed out, or if you're out of money. But we're going to start with like this limited amount.
No, it's very reasonable.
And I walked everyone through, how to use like the interface. Shout out to my dad who taught me how to play video poker in shitty bars in Portland.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just kind of walked them through like the basic method. and kind of doing this like in pairs. I finish showing the last person how to play the game, and there's not enough open slots for us to all like sit next to each other. So I have to sit like a little ways away. I'm playing my hands. I feel like, you know, I'm the professor. I told them all how to do it sort of the right way so Papa can be a little fast and loose. But by and large, you know, I'm playing pretty conservatively. I cash out at like $18 and decide to go check in with everyone else.
You're like 18 up?
No.
Oh, okay.
I lost $2.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
That's fair.
I wandered up. I think I got to like 36, and then I just started fucking crashing.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're just going to stop bleeding now.
Uh-huh.
Cool. We're going to wander out. We're going to see how everyone else is doing. Everyone else had found the button that allows you to play 10 hands at once.
Yeah,
What?
totally.
And they're like, this is so good. There's a multiplier on the hands so that when you win, you get to win more money.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. If there's a 4 times multiplier on the hands, but you have to play 5 of them at a time to hit that, you're paying 5 times as much money to try and win 4 times as much money
Hello.
when you're already going to lose.
Yeah.
Like, the odds are already stacked against
Yeah.
us. So, pretty quickly, I think I managed to get someone to cash out, and everyone else was like, we only have like $4 left. Smash, smash, smash.
Oh my god.
So we saw, like, that's how that section ended.
So like the
So
first
everyone's just
60 of
flushing their
this
money down the
150
toilet.
was like gone.
It was an
quickly.
experience investment
Yeah.
that would ultimately not pay off because we did not return to the video poker.
Now, I also have to ask, was getting the free drinks a consideration in what you were doing?
The other times that I was gambling, yes.
This particular time?
This particular time, I settled for smoking indoors.
Okay.
Because again, like, I'm trying to, like, help my boy win this switch.
Yeah.
I have to stay sharp. I need to remember all 4 things I know about poker.
You're waving off the free drinks and they're like, "Save yourself, dude."
No.
Can't you see I'm on a mission?
Yeah.
This boy needs a switch. So we wander away from there, and we see Blackjack.
Right. Now, see, and this is good, because did you know going in that Blackjack is the only game that you're favored at?
I didn't know that I was favorite at it. I knew it was the least bad.
Yeah.
Technically, both things are true.
Yeah.
And I-
Yes. Least bad's another way of saying favored. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and we might be favored with respect to, like, slots or other games where you're basically guaranteed to lose.
Right.
You are still versus the dealer. The dealer has an immense advantage over you.
Right.
Right. But when you're talking actual factual odds, Blackjack's the only one that you have. I think it's not even a full percentage. I think you have like 50.8% better odds than the house. And that's the only game in a casino where that's true.
That's wild.
Every single other game is stacked against you, like some to a capacity that's like insane.
The thing that I know about Blackjack and player disadvantage, the immense advantage that the dealer has over you is that they get to act last.
Exactly.
Right,
So
but
there
they
are-
also have to take certain actions.
Well, yeah.
So that's actually where that point, or that's where that 0.8% comes in.
Which, I mean, I would follow strict rules in exchange for getting to go last every day of the week and twice
But
on
also,
Sunday.
but also they don't have autonomy. Like, they have to hit until they have to stay.
Right.
Right, but they're also the only player at the table that can win games for free.
Yeah.
Right, they didn't put anything in.
Well, no, because
If
the
all
players can bust.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If all the players bust, the house just wins. So
If all the players bust, the house wins.
Or every player that busts, the house won without having to do anything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, well, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we could...
But you know, at that point, like, maybe that's where, like, player skill enters the equation, but, like, who knows?
It does, yeah, and I think if you're not a skilled blackjack player, then you don't even get that 0.8%. Then you're, like, underneath the 50%.
Like, all things
Assuming-
being equal, it's 50.8, but
It
you have
is.
to be, like, a blackjack computer.
But you got to be, like, good. Yeah.
Assuming perfect play.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Which, in a casino, is asking a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And speaking of perfect play, so we wander over to this blackjack table, which I think was 5 or 10 a hand. I think we were looking for 5. Maybe we could only find 10. Who knows? It was one of the two. I'm not playing $25 a hand. This is not that roulette game I played.
But you would have been better off to do that.
Yes, it turns out. So I said earlier on, roughly speaking, he had somewhere north of like 150. Maybe he had close to 200, which would be extra embarrassing because we only had to win a little bit. But just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to say that we sat down at this table with 115 chips. Now, we did a quick poll of the group, which was who knows how to play blackjack.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And it was myself and Austin. I have watched 2 movies involving card counting.
Right.
And played blackjack for no stakes during breaks in high school.
I mean, you know, I feel like you were born for this, you know?
Exactly, yes. I'm basically God's perfect blackjack machine. I think Austin was roughly as experienced as I was. Maybe he had seen one less movie about card counting.
I've seen 21.
Yeah. How hard could it be? But, so, we're going to assume 2 things real quick. 1, we are at a $5 table. 2, we had 150 that we were looking to double.
Okay. Also, the other 3 guys who knew nothing about blackjack, were they just out? They're like, we won't participate in this?
Jared decided he was going to stand between Austin and I, and he's essentially like counting like our chips. Like he's hanging out. I have no memory of what the other 2 were doing.
Okay.
They may have left.
Okay.
There were ghosts
Yeah.
hovering over the table.
Turns out I've never known a man named David.
Damn mafia burial grounds.
Yeah.
Also, what casino were you at?
Lost to the sands of time.
Okay.
I have no idea. It was not Circus.
Was it on the Strip?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's at least a Strip casino.
Yeah, the Circus isn't even on the Strip anymore. Like,
It's at the end of the Strip.
oh, is it okay?
It's like at the end, like on the bend or whatever.
right. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the bend. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's at the part where they keep Circus.
Right.
A
Which
hell
is-
place where I would never go.
Yeah. Oh God. I mean, we've all seen the movie. Like, don't go there.
So you said movie, and my brain was like, I think I know that movie. It wasn't a movie. It was...
Oh, I was talking about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay, no, the thing that I was thinking of was a horrible Hunger Games fan fiction
That's
that me and
definitely
people...
definitely what Matthew was referencing.
Absolutely what I was referencing. So
This
it's
is my
weird
brain
that you fucking
crossfiring.
figured it out.
Yeah. My friends and I started reading a horrible fan fiction over quarantine, and maybe on another day I'll regale you with some horrible, horrible shit that we have read. But yeah, one of them, the one that I was thinking of, is Hunger Games fan fiction. I think it's called like The Kitten Ranch. And it's exactly what you think. It's the cast of the Hunger Games, except it's a brothel.
Oh.
Oof.
Yeah. They're older. Is that better? Who knows?
Well, yes, it is better,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
you know,
it's way better, but it's not great.
But anyway,
I'm gonna derail this one more time.
Absolutely.
I just had this brilliant idea for like a themed shindig. You know, you've heard of these parties where like everyone comes and brings a PowerPoint presentation, you know, and they just do a 5-minute PowerPoint. Or a 10-minute PowerPoint, like about one of their favorite things. I say we all find some fan fiction, and then we come and read it out loud. Do a little 5-minute reading of the
man.
gnarliest fan fiction you can find on the internet.
I've got the research.
Yeah, okay.
We've gone through multiple rounds of this.
Hell yeah.
Listener, Google Omegaverse at your peril. You will never read the word slick again.
Oh, God.
Jesus God.
Welcome to Nightmare Cast.
Yep. So eventually I'll talk about this Blackjack, but the way that Fanfic Club got started. The way that Fanfic Club got started was there was an article that somebody posted to our group chat from the O.
Oh boy.
Which I believe is Oprah's.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Oprah's
magazine. Yeah.
I'm like, where is this going?
It was. I think it was like the top 30 Harry Potter fan fictions of all time.
Whoa.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't think the 30 that were on this list were in the top 30.
I've seen way better stuff out there. I don't know.
Like, I don't mean to pull the taffy on this fucking, like, abysmal fucking tangent too much further, but, like, as someone who doesn't get down with fan fiction too fucking much, isn't it mostly just about shipping characters? Like,
I mean, fan fiction can be understood as, I want these two characters to fuck.
Yeah, and like, for the uninitiated, shipping characters is making people fuck, yes, exactly.
That is a term that got its origin with the X-Files fandom. So there was a faction of people that wanted Mulder and Scully to be in a relationship, a faction that did not.
Oh, yeah.
The faction that wanted it, they were called the Relationshippers, which became Shippers.
Oh, shit.
Hey, man, thank you for breaking that down. I'd never known that. And, like, I was definitely
20-some years ago with X-Files?
I was definitely a shipper.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Shout out to the ship.
I mean, like, that's every single fucking show. Will they, won't they? Will they, won't they?
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, but, like, you know, for my personal timeline, like, that one burned the hottest. You know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was an original Will they, won't they?
Oh, my God.
Right after Mork and Mindy.
Yep. Hot on the heels of Mork and Mindy. You know.
I mean...
Turns out... They won't.
The three teenagers just turned the podcast on. The three teenagers that listened are like, the Mork and the what?
The what now? They Google it and they're just like, I'm out. Yeah. These fucking rainbow suspenders. God damn it.
But yeah, I guess you could say that the X-Files is the show that launched 1,000 ships.
Well, this podcast is over. Man, we're never going to get better than that.
I'm glad I got this fucking risk thing in the works. Yeah, because this is clearly over.
I'm sad that those three teenagers that just turned it off missed my fucking Iliad reference.
I mean, that's just... Wow. Yeah. And I mean, like, I can see fucking Scully as Helen. I mean, damn. You know?
Someday. I need to finish American Gods.
Aliens of Troy. That's my new mashup.
Whoa, okay. All right. No, like, we need to drill down on this. Like, there's definitely...
We've got 2 projects now?
Yeah, like, there's a Gillian Anderson, David Duchovny fucking Iliad in this.
Call Jon Favreau, man. He did Cowboys and Aliens. Now he needs to do the Aliens of Troy.
There's literally no way there's not a fan fiction that's already just this idea.
We'll just dredge it up and make it happen.
I need to find it, and then we'll throw the party, and I'll read it to you.
There we go.
So, all right. We come full circle there.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, no,
Do we even need to continue?
No. Cue the music.
This Blackjack story is not going to be more life-warping than the things I've read about fucking Harry Potter online dating Draco Malfoy. There were twists.
I love that they had an online date.
They did. Well, that's the thing. You know, they're fierce rivals. They hate each other. So the way that the author backdoored them into romance, pun not intended, but still clearly good, was that they did not know that they were internet dating each other.
Oh, they were catfishing each other?
No, it was all just persona. Right? They had, like, you know, pictures of, like, their body but not their face. They used a pseudonym. You know.
I see.
They tried to keep it really low-key. And then other things happened.
I mean, I hope so.
Go on.
Man. I will...
Never look at a Nimbus 3000 the same.
Dude. There was an M. Night Shyamalan level revelation involving a magic ring that you put on your dick to let the other person jack you off through the magical internet.
Nice.
Spoilers!
Yeah, whoa! Damn!
This ain't the one I'd pick for the wedding. Or for the show.
For the wedding?
Yeah. Also not safe for a wedding. For an additional spoiler.
Oh, man, fanfic themed wedding. Let's go.
Oh my god. Do you have to wear a raincoat if you're in the front row? Like, holy shit.
It's encouraged.
Yep.
No, the revelation of the dick ring thing happens at a wedding.
I see.
It is an I recognize that touch moment.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, don't read anything, folks. Like,
just forget how to read.
Just keep your eyes shut.
just stop.
Yeah.
You know. But it said maybe play blackjack.
Yeah.
But
back to Jesse's blackjack.
yeah. God. Actually, this story, as I'm about to tell it, will read like a fanfic. So we sit down, Austin and I. Again, let's say we have 150 in chips. Let's say we're playing $5 a hand.
Yep.
Okay.
We need to win 30 games more than we lose
Right.
in order to achieve the $300
Right.
Yes.
And at the time, we did not do that math at all.
Yeah, that's a lot of games.
That's a lot of games to win more than games you lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we could win 30 and, lose 40. That sounds very attainable.
No, also
Well, and shit, even if you win 40 and lose 30, you're still not there.
We're a third of the way there.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, blackjack's a slow crawl to any sort of winnings.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Unless you're sitting at a fucking fat stacks table, in which case you're like
but again, you're still only
probably gonna bottom out quick.
You're still only gonna lose quick or double up. It's like, yeah, it depends on what the goals are, and what you're even trying to accomplish. So,
Well,
And yeah, hope you like playing blackjack.
yeah, so if you're trying to double all of your money, I mean, you'd almost be just as well to go to the $150 table and just be like, one hand, let's fucking see it, dude.
Right?
But yeah,
in the long term, the house will take you.
Yeah.
At almost any game that you play.
yeah,
And those cowards won't let you bet more money when you have a good hand.
they will not. Well,
It is frustrating.
so if you get a certain hand, you can double, right? And then there's some moves you can do in blackjack.
There are.
that speed things up.
As a matter of fact.
yeah.
Funny you should mention
Yeah.
that.
Do you have a foreshadowing sound effect?
Yeah, we haven't ordered the soundboard yet.
No, it turns out there is a speedrun strat to blackjack. So, Austin and I sit down. We start playing. We're doing all right. We're doing pretty good.
Winning some,
Winning some, losing some. We're looking at what the dealer has. We're like, oh, what are the odds? All this stuff. I'm pretending like there's a computer in my head.
Sure.
But at least I feel like I'm not
floating through the air.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not making obviously bad choices. Which does not mean that you're making good choices.
No.
It mostly means you're not aware of what an obviously good or bad choice is. You can identify a catastrophe, and who knows if that's saying something. So we get a few hands deep. I feel like we're doing pretty good. Morale is high.
Nice.
I mean, that matters, you know.
And as I had mentioned before, maybe this is a good reason why I should not do the gambling. But if you'll recall, way back when we were doing the video poker, and the before times when our listeners did not pause and Google Omegaverse.
Or find out what shipping means.
Yeah. When I set them all to go play their conservative game, I got a little fast and loose. I had a little fun with it.
I remember this.
So, I'm dealt a pair of sixes.
Auspicious.
Not a good hand.
Mostly
Not
terrible.
typically, yeah.
For those of you who aren't maybe super familiar with the rules of Blackjack, all of the cards are worth their value, except for all of the face cards are worth 10. You are dealt 2 of these cards. You are trying to get very close to 21, if not 21 exactly. If you achieve more than 21, you lose.
Yep. And
I think a pair of sixes could be described as double mild weak sauce.
right, because so the strategy is that you have to assume because there are more face cards in the deck than there are the other cards. So your odds of hitting a face card are high. So if you're at 12, your odds of hitting that face card going to 22, you auto lose. It's like, it's awful. So it's just taking the hit, but like you can't not, because you're never going to beat the dealer with a 12.
12 is exactly the first number that sucks in Blackjack. You know?
If I had an 11, that's when you double down.
Yeah.
11's when you double down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you get
traditionally
exactly
speaking.
one more card, but you get to put more money on the table, and you have a big shot at it. Worth noting, our dealer is showing a 5. That is a very important number in the world of Blackjack. As Nate mentioned before, the dealer has rules that they are compelled to follow. One of those rules is if they have a total of 16 or less, they are compelled to hit and get another card.
Yep.
So if the dealer had a 7 showing, I know that I absolutely have to hit on this pair of sixes, because the dealer does not have to take another card.
Yep.
The dealer has a 5 showing, the most that they could have is a 15. That means that they have to hit, which means there's a world, perhaps this was the world I should have lived in, where I stay on that and I expect them to bust.
It's actually pretty good odds for them to bust
Yep.
on showing a 5, because the face down card that they have, again, you have to kind of assume cards you don't know are 10s, like just as a general rule. So if you assume they have 15, they'll have to take the hit, and it will likely bust them, because anything over a 7 or over, like, bust them. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So, yeah, you probably stay on a 12 and just, like, be like, fuck, may your misfortune be my fortune.
Like, maybe going to lose this hand, but yeah, you stick on a 12.
And, you know, I've lost hands of Blackjack before. In fact, mere seconds earlier, I am certain.
Yeah.
So I should have read that situation and been like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna let the dealer try and fuck up here, rather than giving myself an opportunity to fuck up.
Sure.
I gave myself several more opportunities to fuck up. One of the things I cannot resist is splitting in Blackjack.
Yeah.
Because it's a non-obvious thing. The rules of Blackjack themselves do not inherently suggest that you can do this, but it's an additional fun rule that doesn't come up all the time.
Yeah, so if you're dealt 2 of the same card, you can split it into 2 hands, right?
And then you get to play 2 hands.
But you have to pay for each one, right?
Yes.
So you have to put down money now for your second hand that you're playing. And then you get a new card on top of each of those new cards.
You know, fans of statistics will note that this is similar to playing 2 hands of poker.
Exactly.
Right.
You also are compelled to bet the same amount on your second hand that you bet on the first hand.
Right.
Because again, the casino they're a bunch of fucking cowards.
Right.
And they won't let you split aces and go all in on your second hand.
Right.
Because God forbid someone else makes money in America. So I split these sixes. And on the first 6, I am Delta 4. Not bad. That's a 10.
That's a 10. That's fine.
We can hit that up to 20.
Yep.
Maybe get an ace. Get a little spicy. Go to 21 town.
Feeling good.
My other 6 comes with a 6.
Which we've seen before.
Mere moments prior.
Yeah.
And I look at the second one.
Oh, no.
And I think to myself, I know I shouldn't split this.
Oh, God damn it.
And I know that it's the part of my brain that is like, do it because it's cool.
Yeah.
I want to impress my friends that already love me enough that I'm in Vegas gambling
You
with
got the
them.
devil on your shoulder being like, dude, it's cool.
Yeah.
Hold my beer. I'm going to split this other one.
Papa already taught him how to play video poker. Papa's going to teach him how to split blackjack.
I know I told you not to do this, but watch me do this.
Exactly. This is an advanced maneuver. Forgive me, Sensei. I must go all out. Just this once.
Only people practiced in infinite game theory.
No, and that's also part of what fucked me up in this. Is I was able to convince myself to split this hand again because that part of my head, I was like, if it was right to do it before, it's right to do it now.
Yeah, man.
I love that you're missing a tiny key piece of logic, which is that it was never right to do it before.
Yeah,
Like,
it turns out, in the fullness of time, we can see it.
I've used that logic so many times in my life, though. Where
but it dovetails so nicely with sunk cost fallacy. You know, it's just like, well, I already did it, and so that means it must have been right. And if it was right then, it certainly must be right now.
I certainly don't want to admit that I'm not a genius.
Right?
When I have an opportunity to be a double genius.
well, it does look sort of weird if you don't now split this one. It's like,
Yeah,
right.
okay, the first one, but like,
I'm
not
pretty
this
sure
one.
this is how Scientology works.
Right. Well, also, how fucked up would it be for me to not split when I've spent this whole time calling the casinos a coward? Right now, I'm going to have the fucking pit boss, who's not going to come down and rough me up or anything, but you know they're going to wander and be like, "Oh,
So you split that 1-6, but not the other one?
couldn't split the second 6, huh?"
You wearing a wire? Why don't you come in the back?
Oh, yeah.
I guess that happens. You know, we're having a kids' dinner down at the whatever thing. Get you some fucking sprinkles on your, like, Virgin Bloody Mary.
Oh my god.
So I split it again.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Papa didn't raise no blackjack dealer, but Mama didn't raise no coward. So we split, and we're going to keep a running tally. I have a 6.
Can I ask you,
Yeah.
was there any expression at all on the dealer's face when these shenanigans were taking place?
Utterly unreadable.
They're supposed to be sort of like that. I mean,
Yeah.
they're allowed to be like friendly, but I don't think they can be like, whoa.
Right.
or
Well, no,
anything,
I'm just
you
saying,
know?
like, did they get quiet? Were they just like,
It was an old Asian woman,
and
and unreadable.
Also, they'll just let you. They'll let you do it all day.
yeah,
You
oh
wanna
no,
split?
absolutely. Yeah,
Fucking
no,
do it.
I'm just, like, just curious, like, if there was any read on the dealer at all at this
and
point.
you know, to their credit, I mean, I'm sure I wasn't the first idiot that day that they watched. Like,
oh, fuck no.
fucking tie their own noose.
It's like, oh, yeah, I mean, you can do cartwheels if you want to, homie, but, like,
Yeah, this is a free country. You can hit on 20 if you want.
You
I
can
ain't
hit
gonna
on
stop
20.
you.
Yeah.
that is technically an option.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think you can also just donate all of your chips to the casino.
Oh yeah, they'll take them.
You know, you can quit at any time.
They'll take them. Yep.
But so what I'm going to call a hand prime, 6 out of 4. Hand the second, we have now split again to a 6 out of 5 and a 6 out of 6.
Motherfucker.
No.
So this is all 4 6s at this point.
This is all of them.
Yeah.
The gang's all here.
Well, now here's the thing, though, because they play with a 10-deck shoe.
Yeah,
now.
because usually they've got a shoe. Exactly. Yeah.
So you could potentially hit like,
I mean,
5 more.
like you could just strike a mercury-rich vein and like go all the way.
Exactly. I could be presented with this same horrible decision. There's a universe where I'm still playing this hand in Vegas. Because the game won't end until I stop splitting.
Now that's an infinite game.
There we go.
And we are in day 893 of this really fucked up game of blackjack.
No. All right, so you get 6s.
And it's like that moment in a horror movie when like the worst possible thing happens to the person and they're like, but why? Because I see, like, I made the decision last time, like, if it was right before, it's right to do it now. And then I'm right back fucking there. I'm like, I didn't want to do this.
Yeah, I didn't want this decision.
This is never a good idea.
I am a coward. I just caved to my own peer pressure on the last one.
Why are you confronting me, God?
I already got the courage to like jump off the fucking cliff into the water. Like, why am I back on the cliff again?
Right? I made it into the water. I have to fight a shark? What the fuck? And mind you, like, the way that splitting your hands work, you just, like, you make the decision to keep splitting them, and then once you're done with that, once God has mercy on you and stops giving you back-to-back 6s, you still have to go back and play all of these hands.
All right, so once the meme finishes, then you actually have to play blackjack again.
Then you actually, and you have to play 4 hands of blackjack. Because I split these 6s again.
Yeah, of course you did. So it's dealt 6s split, get another 6 split, get another 6 split. So
Yes.
that's 4 hands. Okay. So, holy fuck. Okay. But it stopped there, so that's 4 hands.
I was not dealt. I was bailed out by God. I did not hit the 5th 6.
Because then you do start wondering, like, man, what's going to happen?
Well, then it's like you're so nervous, you keep splitting because you can't bear for the moment to end.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
as long as, again, the infinite game, as long as we could keep splitting, we can never face the consequences of splitting.
Right.
They eventually just have to get a circular table on which to fan out all of your hands. You know?
Yeah. They wheel in another. Yeah.
At that point, it's a game of attrition.
How many cards you got?
Right? The casino stops offering me free drinks.
Yeah.
They need me to, like, fucking thirst out.
You're like, when do you close? And they're like, never.
Yeah.
It's like a
Fuck.
You've got like just a network of community individuals who are just, like,
Right.
bringing you mugs of broth and bottles of water.
God. It'd be like voting booths in the South. They'd tell you just can't.
Right? Like,
No sustenance for this man.
there's a judge who passes a law that says if you leave the table to go to the bathroom, you forfeit. And so like someone's just got you fucking Texas cathetered and you're just going for it.
God. No. Thankfully, that is not how this played out.
Yeah.
But all right, so I have 4 hands. I have a 6 and a 4, a 6 and a 5, a 6 and an 8, a 6 and a 2. 2 of these hands are pretty good.
Yeah.
2 of these hands are pretty shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah, that last hand's like, better than your first hand, but like none of them are good. Third hand's actually terrible. 14's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 and 11, fine. But
You're only
like,
doing slightly better than the dealer on that hand.
Yes. So we have decided to play 4 mediocre hands
Yep.
of blackjack instead of one arguably slightly south of mediocre to like
Yeah.
possibly fine.
Let's turn this 5 into 4 5.5s.
Yes. Yeah.
exactly.
And so Austin's sitting next to me. Austin just has a 15 showing. So that's relevant for altruism that happens later. Maybe altruism, maybe also just me screaming in my head. I start hitting on the first hand. I get a 2, bringing me to 12, which...
Now you're back at the beginning.
Literally
Exactly where you started.
just did the same thing, but also I'm playing 3 extra hands. And I took a lot of really small numbers out of the deck.
Yeah.
Which means now I'm fucking hitting...
Right, none of these are face cards.
None of these are face cards.
Which odds would tell you some of them should have been.
I out of 8 cards on the table, for just me, literally none of them are face cards. Woof. Which means now every time that I hit, I have to assume I'm going to find a face card.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the odds seem very strong now that face cards are coming.
So I'm at 12, and I think, well, I'm going to hit. Still having not learned my lesson about the nature of 12 versus 15.
Mother of God.
Get a 4. We got 16. All right. Let's move it along. Let's go to the next hand. This is an 11. I hit. I get a 4. We're at 15.
No.
This is where my spirit immediately breaks.
Oh my God.
I do not hit that hand again.
Yep.
You might also say this is where I learned my lesson. Next hand, 14. Hit, get a 2, 16.
This is now 3 2s that have rolled.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No face cards.
We're not beating much now.
No.
Last hand, 6 and a 2, 8. Hit, 7. We got a 15.
You've hit exactly where the dealer just can stay. Like,
oh no!
And I look at the deck, and then I look at Austin, and I look at Austin's hand, and I think, well, if I hit now, and I take like the last fucking small number card, Austin's gonna fucking hit the queen and bust.
Yeah.
And then the dealer's gonna hit like a 5, get 20, and win. And I will, like, if I choose to hit this last hand again, I will probably bust and then also cost my friend the game. And now I'm, like, I'm probably losing all 4 hands. The least that I can do as, if not a friend, a fellow human being, is not fucking make my friend lose by being some fucking jackass who's like, yeah, I'll take 10 extra cards. They're not all face cards? What's up with that?
Hold on, I'm playing 4D chess, bro. It's fine.
Yeah, right? You don't mind if I take all of the low numbers. That would help you, do you? There's plenty of 10s left in there, so you lose automatically when you take a game action. Is that okay?
But also, odds are looking pretty good for the dealer to bust. So, you know.
True that.
I don't know. Can you coach people like who are playing with you? Could you tell him, be like, don't hit, dude, just ride it?
I don't know if we ever did. We passed each other chips, though.
Okay.
Like when one of us was getting low, we were just like, grab a stack, hand it to the other person. We built up, and we were about at like our high point when we hit this hand. Like, I was probably on a heater of 2 or 3 hands in a row where I did not too bad, which led me into this decision. But I stay on my last hand. I look at Austin. I shrug. Austin looks at me. He makes the same decision of like, there's no way it's not a fucking face card.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not fucking hitting.
Oh, man.
Dealer goes. They flip over their card. Sure enough, king. They have 15. They're compelled to hit. Queen, they bust. Oh!
Yes.
I just won all 4 heads of blackjack.
Your 4 crummy hands.
Yes.
You're like, this was a galaxy brain moment.
Yeah.
It wasn't just me being a dick.
It was the wild rush. I was a genius. It was better than the best game of Magic the Gathering I have ever played. It was more rewarding than anything I did in college. Like, it was a great moment.
Yeah, man, you can't beat that.
Right? You push back your chair, polish your monocle. And that's how you do it, boys.
Yep, and that is how you play blackjack. Take a lesson. Take a page out of this book.
Yeah, just be a fucking idiot. Get bailed out 50 times. That's how you do it.
Oh my God.
So we win this, and then, like, what we should have done is stepped away from the table for a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
Sure.
at least just take a moment to reflect.
I should have smoked the best cigarette of my fucking life. Made peace with the fact that I would never hit a high as that ever again. And then wander back to the blackjack table to try and close out the deal on this switch. Now, worth noting, Austin and I have not been counting our wins and losses. Mm-hmm. We have a rough idea of, I have more chips than when I started.
Like a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
Sure.
After that hand, we did pull a little bit ahead.
Yeah, you're like notably ahead. Yeah.
But my brain is fried because I'm not going to say of all of the math that I did. Because the actual math says I did not do math. But all of the circuits just fired, the hamster running on the wheel.
Having to deal with 4 decision trees in one blackjack game, that's going to burn out the circuits.
And I'm like, okay, just take a few deep breaths, bet in for the next hand. And I remember, like, looking back and seeing Jared over my shoulder, and he's, like, counting our, like, stacks of chips. Like, 10, 20, 30, 40. I whispered, I don't know. Anything. Everything's fine. I see Jared over our shoulder, and he's counting our stacks of chips.
Right.
And I'm trying not to pay attention to, like, the amount that he's saying. I do think this part is true. Me knowing how close or far we are away from our goal should not impact the decisions that I'm making. I should be trying to play the best blackjack that I can.
Sure.
If we're 1 hand away, or if we're 3 hands, or if we're 45 hands away.
Right.
So I'm kind of trying to tune that out, because I also expect that once we hit that amount, Jared's going to be like, we're done, get out of here.
We got the switch, let's go!
We beat Vegas! Like,
Right. Well, and there's no, like...
We took him for a switch!
right?
Well, at no point is there ever a moment where you can be like, well, okay, we're kind of losing, let's pull out, because, like, the goal is to either, like, crater or fucking win. Mm-hmm. So...
And both of those come with their own flavor of glory.
Right.
Because, yeah, you win the switch, you get out, cool. Because we were good at gambling, you know, Austin would essentially get to buy a switch for $150. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you're like, I took this $150, I went to Vegas, lost it all.
Right.
Tried to get a switch. I remember, though, at the end of this, like, gigantor hand, when it's time for the dealer to resolve her hand, I pause her for a second, and I say, I just want you to know, if you beat us, we can still be friends. As my way of trying to diffuse the tension that I feel inside of me. And she says, nothing.
Yeah. Wow.
Just flips her card. She wasn't, like, mean or anything like that.
Just
like, and here's a card. I have lost. And
just pays your chips.
Yep,
And
and
then just moves on to the next one.
And I'm trying to, like, be a good winner and not be like, yeah, fucking casino. Instead, you know, again, I want to be cool. So outwardly, I'm like, yes, the chips that I won. On this hand.
Oh, yes, money. Thank you.
Yes, the chips I earned by playing correctly.
By splitting 4 fucking hands.
But, so, I offered the bit of friendship to her. Spoiler alert, I don't think she accepted it.
No.
They're not supposed to.
I guess that's true. You want to remain impartial. Yeah. But I remember Jared, you know, counting our chips, me thinking, like, we're probably pretty close, but we're still going to keep making good decisions. Next hand, you know, I have, like, a 17. I'm like, cool, I'm going to stay on a 17. Dealer has 20, lose. Yep. Like, I won this excellent, I mean, not actually good, but the ride of a lifetime had finished without me losing an extra, like, $20. And after that, It's like the fucking gloves came off. Like, she just started beating the shit out of us.
Oh, man.
Every 18 we had, she had 20.
Oh my god.
man.
Every time that we're like, stay on, like, I had blackjack, she had blackjack.
Damn.
Push.
Push.
Like, it was... Is that moment in, like, the action movie when, like, the old man is like, all right, kid...
Yeah.
I'll show you how to fight.
It's like you got your one hit in, and then they're just like, all right.
My turn.
Yeah.
And the metal music just ramps up.
She spits one bit of blood.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fucking on, dude.
And, yeah, like, let's say we spent 25 minutes leading up to that, like, really big hand, going back and forth, staying in the game, being ahead of the game, being reasonably close to our goal. It took us 25 minutes to get to that point. It took her maybe 15 minutes to clear us the fuck out. Like, it felt borderline unfair. Which it was in a casino, so that checks out.
Well,
but
also, even with a shoe, so even in a 10-deck shoe, and depending on where you're at this point, you did just pull so many non-face cards out of the deck. I think you take those chips and you fucking walk away, and you go sit at the table right next to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're just like, the odds on this table are shot as fuck,
Oh,
dude.
absolutely. And like, not to derail the fucking conversation too much, but fans of the show will remember that when I was on fucking MDMA in Vegas, I watched a blackjack dealer get 21-5 hands in a row.
ooh.
Whoa.
And the pit boss came down and fucking switched her out with another dealer, switched out the shoe, and comped the fucking whale who was at the table with us for like
Whoa.
some shit real quick, you know?
Was like, sorry about that weird string of luck.
Yeah, and like, you know, me and my girlfriend at the time, like, we put $20 on the first hand, and like, there was some like Molly prescience happening, like, there's no way that we can lose kind of shit, you know? Like, yeah, we did first hand, and then our homie Todd was like putting 100 down on every hand, and he was like, well, maybe that was a fluke.
Oh, no.
Did that 4 more times.
Whoa.
Just like,
That's how they kill you, because
Yeah,
you
just-
think, oh, it can't happen twice in a row.
yeah, thankfully he was a tech bro, so like $500 wasn't a big deal, but like, yeah, just fucking got cleaned the fuck out summarily. And like, this whale walked over on hand 2, so like, he saw 4 of those.
Whoa.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, pretty fucking convenient in 2021 when you can see through the sands of time.
Yeah, quiz on Todorock. Oh, fuck.
We definitely should have walked away. Yeah, we were idiots.
Thanks, Captain Hindsight.
Yeah, right? But yeah, no, that was the wildest ride, and it was the fall from the top. You know, there's all this literature about the fall from grace and how it's all these like epic moments, or maybe it's sad or whatever. The true horror of this multi-step fall from grace was every time I thought, no, I got it this time. Because if I just knew, oh, we're destined to fucking lose forever, you relax into it, right? It's like you're gonna get hit by a car. Don't tense up. That's how your bones break. This is not medical advice.
Let it happen.
Just let it happen. It's fine. But every hand after that, I thought I was a contender.
Right.
I remembered myself as the man who won 4 hands of blackjack
At once.
at the same time.
At the same time.
I took 4 garbage hands and turned it into $20 free dollars. I should have been unstoppable.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
your math was correct on that first one. Like, you had pulled all the shit cards out of the deck, so there was no way for the dealer to get there. But after that, it's just all shit all the way down.
Yeah, and the real tragedy is Austin had to get his switch by, making an hourly wage. Working in America.
And he's never been the same since.
No. But yeah, that's that's the story of me being bad at blackjack. Had to get his switch by, making an hourly wage, working in America.
And he's never been the same since.
No. But yeah, that's the that's the story of me being bad at blackjack.